you've got some riders dealing with that in different ways. You might have a button up over your spandex. Maybe a denim vest over Sturm, I think.
I'm trying to figure out what Meredith Miller is wearing. But yeah, vests are popular. So that's Sturm with the yellow sleeves, Miller with the cut-off top that she's rocking out there today. So we'll take a look at the whole shot. Meredith already has a smile on her face as Sarah Sturm surges to the front. Rodder going down. Oh, hate to see that. That's a rough way to start. And look at this, spinning out in the opening sprint here.
I think the riders are okay. Really tough starts in single speed just because no one has any momentum. So you've got this giant gear. You gotta get off the line somehow. But then as soon as you get up to speed, everyone's spinning their brains out. So it's like you can't possibly do this and look good doing it.
And even everyone knows. You know, the riders are laughing at themselves when they're trying to sprint on a single speed bike.
Circus bikes.
Yeah, there's no way to look good.
Pre-race favorite double denim Sarah Sturm on the front. She's already got the lead. She's going to head into this run-up. A little bit of a gap. But yeah, lots of action there. That's start line. We haven't seen a start line crash all week, I believe. So fortunately that happened. Hopefully everyone gets up and is okay.
So Tim, for new viewers at home, talking about why they're wearing shiny blue tight pants and why we'll see all these crazy outfits. Tell me about the difference between single speed racing and normal racing, starting from an equipment perspective.
Equipment perspective, you've got a cross bike. You only have one gear. It's not a fixed gear. A lot of people think that this is a track bike, but it's not. You just have one gear. You have a free wheel. So when you stop pedaling, it's fine. But the single speed actually, I believe, really teaches riders to push a little bit. You see Sarah Sturm on the front. She's got a big gear. She's trying to get back up to speed. It teaches you to push a little bit harder to get up to speed, but it also teaches you to preserve momentum, and so it really changes your riding style. But besides just having a single speed, it's exactly like any other cross bike out there. Although some people, single speed being maybe their second, third, fourth, fifth bike, maybe their third race of the weekend, these bikes are undoubtedly made up of different parts. It's like Franken bikes out there. But great descent shot there. See those challenging ruts coming down. Yeah, trying to make it around the corner. Lots of roots. Kind of digging in there a little bit. Everyone's staying upright. I like the sleeveless we saw there. A little bit. That's aggressive for the temperature today, for sure. But we're all making it around okay. That's good. Getting a full look at the entire field here.
I think this whole group is going to make it through on two wheels.
Yeah, no, you got to keep those elbows loose out there. You can't be too stiff in the upper body, especially when these roots are like this. So some riders even going for the run down that descent. But I remember watching Sarah here at Reno. Really one of the first times I had seen her, but lots of energy out there. Lots of energy in the way that she rides her bike, talks about bikes, shows at bikes. You know, and it's great. It's inspirational for a lot of people to be around someone or see someone so excited about riding at whatever type of bike it is.
Back up over the run-up. Yeah. Or flyover, I should say.
There's no flying at a single speed up these things because it's steep, very steep.
And that is Sarah Sturm off to the right-hand side of your picture, who has now given herself a pretty nice gap here, back to second place, still trying to ID second. And Tim, this is no surprise. Sarah Sturm, a name that we know well in cyclocross racing here, so I don't think anyone is shocked to see Sturm get to the front early.
No, we'll get an idea on that rider as soon as we possibly can, because we want to know as much as you do. So looks like 5:07 looks like on the left-hand side. Emily Schaldick from Durango.
Oh, Schaldick tried to go, and Sarah Sturm just shut the door on her.
Nice.
I've never seen a running door shut happen in cyclocross, but it just happened right there.
If they can't get their handlebars in front of yours, then you may as well just own it. At least that's when you're riding. Running is a little different story, but That is single speed to a T, because he's only got one gear too. So he sees his brethren out there running up this thing, and he's like, I want to get out there too. Come on, guys.
I recognize this guy because I saw him at the 2016 Single Speed World Championships. He's doing the exact thing. He had the same bike. He had the whole outfit going. So this guy is a legend in cyclocross now. There you go. I think he was shirtless when I saw him, so.
Might have been a little easier to do that there. You've got Sarah Ginsbach, Boulder, Colorado, going by there. But Shaldick in second. So they're doing the full course here. So this is that long uphill section. Very, very difficult on a single speed, because this climb just continues to roll out in front of you. You do not really ever feel like you've got this thing figured out. Sarah just a little bit ahead of Shaldick here.
Yeah, this part of the course is probably where you can really tell that you need gears to do this. So Sturm and Shaldick. There's Shaldick right there.
We got another. Get a look at who our 3rd through 6th place riders are. Actually, that's a nice little group. See if they can get together on this descent. Start pressing the pace a little bit. So here's also where single speeds are really at a disadvantage, because she almost cannot pedal. She's kind of moving her legs a little bit here, but even with all the gears available to a normal bike, this descent is long enough and fast enough to where it won't work. So especially for her gearing, whatever she's picked, she's going to spin out almost immediately. So it really teaches you to preserve your momentum, because once you get it going, you kind of want to keep it there.
Yeah. It definitely makes you a better rider. I think everyone should spend some time riding single speed.
And it's super fun.
And it's super fun.
You take a fun event and then you make it even more fun. It feels like you've got fun squared. But yeah, ticking into this descent here. Sarah rocketing out of this. Nice exit, high speed. Looking good. Shaldick, great corner there. Really solid. Those blue shiny tights really moving down that descent. That was actually one of the riders who went down in that start line crash, so glad to see that she's still out there riding. So Bitch and Sticks, Bitch and Grit, Bitch and Grit, 10-Speed Hero, and Bitch Sticks. That would be the Durango, Colorado rider. Emily Shaldick, I'm glad I got that one right. Hopefully we don't have to beep that, but
we're on the internet. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, she's trying to get back up there. Really quite a battle.
Good race for 3 and 4 as well.
Yeah.
A little farther back. So this is the battle for the bronze spot on the podium.
Looks like that is Gina Estep from Renton, Washington. And we do not have an ID of that number 6. So try and find that out for you. Working as best as we can here. So more than 45 women registered in this single speed race. This is almost this is one of the talk of the week races, because it's Saturday afternoon, kind of wraps up the day, and it really shows a little bit more of what the course will look like for the Sunday races. So, you know, when someone were to ask, you know, Shaldick here or Sturm what the course is like, it oftentimes will be pretty similar to what it'll be like on Sunday. So great way to find out what's happening in the course. And a lot of other people will do this race in addition to the other races throughout the week. Get another chance to get out there, throw a number on.
Yeah, another chance to ride the course. And this is our mystery rider wearing number 4, which is weird because all the riders in this race have 900 series numbers. So,
oh, into the tape there, coming around that corner.
A little wide. There goes Meredith Miller at the top of the picture.
Wide is a good thing when you're trying to find some traction, and in that case it turned into the tape. But this section right here is actually probably one of the harder ones for a single speed rider, because it's just this slight uphill, really soft mud. Super fun to ride though. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I love to see. And actually, the single speed worlds that I saw was in LA.
I just realized Sturm has a spoke card in her front wheel.
Oh, yeah?
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Is that new transponder?
I don't think so.
Spoke card that's like Bluetooth, and it's a beacon.
No, I think this is kind of a herald back to...
Aero is everything, even when you're wearing denim. I mean, pins. I wonder if they've gone into the wind tunnel and figured out if you've got pins on your cutoff denim jacket, how much drag that creates, and then how do you counteract it with your body position and helmet. It's a great way to get back to zero. You want to get your drag coefficient as low as you possibly can.
Got something in there on the front wheel. It's not a disc rotor.
No, definitely not a disc rotor. You know, maybe it's maybe there's a party coming up. I do know that there is a party on Sunday night. We won't mention it here on air, but it may include some guest DJs.
Oh, it's like a secret party that no one can know about that you just told the entire internet about?
Well, I probably won't tell you about it later, so it's still a secret to you, which is fine. But Jess Cutler in third position, we hear. So NWCX project from Seattle. And she was racing earlier this week, rocking around this course. And as we see an entire pack of dogs. You know, we've taken over the dog park for the area here. So we've got a lot of people walking their dogs out here going, what happened to my dog park? What are these people doing on bikes?
That's not a dog.
Yeah, see if we can read that.
See if you can give me an address.
Brad, is that your
party?
Brad, is that your phone number?
Might be.
How did you? That's amazing. How did you do that? Well, you know, if you want to get your name out there, Brad, that's one way to do it. Schaldick still running hard, trying to get up there. Cutler here. She's going to jump back on that bike. Third position for her.
So I think the unidentified rider, we were talking earlier about the rider wearing number 4. I think that's Carla Williams, who's going to race the pro women's race later tomorrow. But
why not use your number twice?
Well, I think she's wearing her pro women's number, and yeah, didn't switch over to the single speed number.
Sarah going down the descent. Yeah, setting it. Nice in the drops. You know, these ruts here will swallow those tires. That mud's definitely getting thick down there as it's drying out. So it's slowing down that descent, maybe making it a little bit easier, but very tricky. And the pinata is there just in case we have any kind of crash. Oh, that might be a Cars or Coffins card.
Could be.
That kind of looks like it.
Yeah, the white lines against the black.
Is that you? We'll get more information. You know, the internet is all about picking up one thing from something and running it to death. But we got the Thrive rider. That is 905 Rachel Wood. Just behind her, 913. Janelle Bickford and her co-commentator, Meredith Miller right there. Followed by Taylor Snyder from Portland, Oregon.
And back to Sarah Sturm with 1, 2, and 3 in the picture.
Yeah, she's got this gap now a little bit more open. She's still pushing hard. You can see that pain in her face. And card status is still there.
I thought we were going to lose it. It looked like it was getting a little creased there.
Yep. Well, you know, maybe it's held in there by something a little bit more substantial.
So we're gonna have Dave Toll ask about this in the post-race interview.
Her entire mission right now is to win, so we can figure out what the card is in her wheel. And Cutler's gonna hammer up this thing instead of up and over the flyover.
Yeah, you really lose them. It's like 2 pedal strokes before you get up and over is where it kind of bottoms out. Well, it is a balmy 43 degrees now. We've picked up 3 degrees since the start of the day, and there is a little bit of rain starting to come down now.
Sarah Ginsbach there from Boulder, Colorado. You think that everyone's smiling in that earlier shot? They're definitely not smiling. That was all pain-faced the whole way up. Schaldick is really a good runner. She is just flying up these run-ups, sprinting to jump back on. Contrast to the majority of the other riders who are suffering suffering every time they pedal. Single speed races are really tough on the legs, you know, because you can't really shift the gears and rely on other you know, systems. Like, you can't just like breathe your way through a single speed race. It is so muscular that it just hurts so bad.
Well, Schaldak on the way up here. She is gaining time on Sarah Sturm, so this is good news for Schaldak.
I wonder what the thermo qualities of a denim jacket are.
Probably pretty similar to blue reflective shiny skin tight pants or whatever these are.
Yeah, but that's like a fishnet over the top, like mesh. So she's actually really good for, you know, dissipating heat, while the denim really kind of keeps it in, you know. But then you would get cold because it's now wet cotton. So interesting. You know, these are all questions that people are dying to figure out.
I had no idea you were so interested in fabric.
Well, it's an important thing, especially, you know, when aero really is everything. So, you know, I just wonder about these equipment choices. It's not all about the bike, you know, Brad. It's the whole package.
I got news for you. It's 2019. Aero is no longer everything. Looking cool is everything now.
I don't know. I feel like there might be bike shorts underneath the denim shorts.
I think so.
Smart move.
I hope so.
Smart move, yeah.
For all involved, I hope so.
No, this, wonder how aero those tights are. Whoa, that's really slick around there. And you know, you're trying to ride where there is traction, and sometimes it looks like there might be some, and then it just kind of disappears.
So Sturm, Schaldak, and Cutler, the three riders were following up at the front. Carla Williams still sitting in 4th place. Rachel Wood is in 5th right now. Meredith Miller in 6th. Janelle Bickford in 7th. Taylor Snyder is our 8th place rider on course, followed by Melissa Barker in 9th. Jade Koida in 10th. Gina Estep in 11th. Anna Dillard rounding out the top 12. Reminder, you can find current standings at livelinksresults.com. That's LYNX, livelinksresults.com. If you're looking for a rider, you can see all the results, and they update those each lap as the riders roll through the line. Just under 17 minutes in to our 40-minute single speed race here. And Sarah Sturm may have some company up on the front soon from Emily Schaldak.
Sarah Sturm all muddy on the left-hand side. She went down, and you can see that her entire left leg is covered in mud, and here comes Schaldak. Schaldak is right on her back wheel. That descent is really tough. You come dropping down, you've just done a big climb. You don't really feel that comfortable. Tough to pick which route you need to get, and it has taken Sarah Sturm right down. She's back up, though. Looks like her bike is intact. Hasn't lost anything beyond just the time. And looks like she's going to have to get right back on the gas. Schaldak, though, looking good. She's now got a real look at making this turn into a win. But Sturm getting kind of back. Looks like she's back in a position. Oh, maybe she does have a bike problem. Maybe her derailleur stopped working. She needs to get a new bike, and so that will work. Oh, maybe. Yep, that looks like she is gonna just get right back going again. New leader, Emily Schaldak, coming to you out of Durango, Colorado.
An interesting choice to pit for Sarah Sturm here. Her bike didn't look super dirty, but maybe because she went down in the crash, she was worried that something got knocked out, you have something loose, something like that. So maybe she's thinking better safe than sorry. I'd rather pit now, 18 minutes in, than have to do it a lap or two from now on the last lap of racing. And she knew, Schaldak, you know, you can give her 5 seconds. You still got a lot of racing to go. So,
so you think it wasn't the derailleur was the issue?
I'm pretty confident her derailleur is not the issue.
I'll take your expert opinion. You know, I do think that Sarah might be the only one with an entirely perfect, matched up second bike in the single speed race. I mean, that is pro. She is totally dialed, because those are beautiful bikes, and she is now going to ride herself right back onto the back wheel of Schaldak, giving herself a chance. That tough little ride up here into the mud.
Sturm struggling a little bit.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's the body language.
Really hard. Schaldak descending back down towards the finish line.
I think Sturm is riding the new SRAM 1x1x1.
Wow. Yeah, that is new. You know what? She's got 2 carts now in the wheels.
You're right, she does.
So that is some real prep. If your pit crew has your second bike so dialed that you've got the party flyers in both bikes, I mean, it's got to be the coolest party in the world.
This is the world's greatest viral marketing because we've talked about it for like 8 minutes on this broadcast. So it's working, whatever the plan was.
I don't know about you, but I don't feel bad about not knowing what that's about. I'm totally cool with not knowing like where the party is.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure we will eventually. It's fine.
All right, just over 20 minutes in, and a good battle unfolding on the front between Sarah Sturm in the denim vest with yellow sleeves and Emily Schaldak in the orange-pink.
Ooh, in third place,
pants.
Jess Cutler.
Ooh, Cutler's coming
not
back.
that far away. I think the phantom shift. You ever have that feeling like you just want to, try and shift just because you feel like you're spinning your brains out? Well, I think that each of these riders do that a couple times every straightaway.
Is that like I have a phantom flat tire where I'm riding up a hill and I always think I have a flat rear tire?
My phone buzzes in my pocket, I think, but it's not actually buzzing. Yeah, right back to the front. Drafted through the start-finish area and then right around. Sarah Sturm going into this run-up. Take a look at the replay of this pass. So this is at the end of the straightaway, back onto the grass. Looks like Schaldak had a little bit of an issue there with the bike there.
Yeah, it looked a little weird riding that way off to the right side. I also see something dangling off of her left handlebar. I think it might just be a glove strap.
Oh, look at that. Jess Cutler right there. I mean, that's inside 5 seconds.
Yep. So Cutler can absolutely do this.
She's having a great race. We'll see if Schaldak can outrun Sturm here. You see the mud on the left leg. Don't see any injuries. Sometimes you do have a cut. Oh, actually, maybe I do see blood. Excuse me. When you crash in mud like that, sometimes you'll cut something and you don't really feel it, just because of the adrenaline that you've got. The cold here definitely helps keep that numb.
It's like taking a shower after you go mountain biking. You feel all those little scrapes and scratches from the thorns and the brush.
Well, actually, Jeremy Powers and I were talking about this a couple days ago. Riding a race in Europe with wooden posts. We have a bunch of wooden posts here at this race. Riding on the side of the course trying to find traction, you'll actually hit your hands on the wooden posts, and you finish the race and you've got bloody knuckles on both hands. You have no idea when it happened. You can't picture it.
But somewhere
definitely feel it
along the line. Oh, there is Meredith working her way up to the top of the run-up.
And Sturm rolling through. Cutler, get around that corner. Keep that momentum going. Not as comfortable as the first 2 riders on that descent, but very strong when they're pedaling. The problem with single speed is that everyone has the speed limit of the gear that they choose, unless you can pedal faster. So it's really tough to chase anyone down on a flat section here.
Sturm's starting to feel it.
She's really turning it on now. So that's going to be almost 5 seconds by the time she gets to the end of this straightaway here.
Just interesting thinking about Sturm versus Schaldak. Sturm has had a pit. She went down on that descent. She's had a couple problems today, but still finding her way up to the front. Schaldak has had a relatively uneventful day so far. So for Sarah Sturm, overcoming the issues that she's had today makes this ride all the more impressive.
Well, you got to be in it to win it. So she's putting herself in that position. We saw that happen in the last 2 races where someone in the lead or near the lead, you have a problem, and it takes you right out of it. And both times, second place was able to take advantage of it and get a victory in there. Got some of the other riders here following our leaders here. 9:14, Crystal Boney from Colorado, one of the earlier crash victims. See a little bit of blood on her knee. Get an idea. Some of these other riders out there. Yep, got some good blood on that knee. Single speed, it's totally okay to be bloody.
I was just going to say, only in cyclocross single speed can someone have blood dripping from their leg, running up a muddy hill and smiling about it. Not to mention that they volunteered to pay like $50, I think, to race this thing.
Did she
anyway.
kiss the baby?
I
Is
think
that what
she
that is?
might have. I think the...
You know, it happens.
All right, we're getting into the weird section of single speed now.
I think it's been happy hour for a couple hours, so
Yeah,
it's just natural that this would happen.
Well, the beer garden is located at the bottom of this run-up, so that is the... in fact, it's right down there, right by Frosty the Snowman there at the top of the picture.
So I heard that our broadcast is actually happening out on course somewhere, and if anyone is listening, these two people right here, you know, myself and the...
Oh, Meredith got paid!
There's a little bit of a pickup there.
Wait, Tim, before we saw Meredith, you were talking to the people on course.
Oh, yes, yes. So talking to the people on course, if there's someone who's got a couple... Oh, that's the dollar. She's got
Distracted by
pockets.
Sarah Sturm getting paid here. And I can't believe Shalduck passed it up. It's free money.
She's got a win right in front of her if she can run a little faster. You know, it's totally optional. All of these things are not things you have to do. It's just that when the leader of the race grabs some money, you're kind of, you know, you get a little bit cooler.
This guy grabbed, he's the one putting them out there.
Never before filmed ever in the history of cyclocross. No one knows where these dollar bills have ever come from. It turns out this game camera has captured that exact moment that the dollar bill appeared on the run-up.
Well, history made today as we discover the source.
That was by David Attenborough. I hope that's okay, but...
I was wondering what that was. All right, back at the Sarah Sturm on the front. Bombing her way down. And she's got a pretty good gap now over Shalduck.
Did you know that we have closed captioning happening on our broadcast?
I did. I saw you're a meme now. Congratulations.
I'm wondering exactly how this is going to work. So anyways, people who are watching, it is also happy hour in other parts of this place. And if anyone wants to come by and say hi to the broadcast team, feel free to do so. And come find us in the circus tent at the finish line.
Yeah, it's almost happy hour, and on an unrelated note, we are located right by the finish line underneath the white tent. Just follow the lights.
Back there, Sarah making it down that descent clean this time. And there is Shalduck. She's ripping these descents straight into that rut.
Shalduck is a really good bike handler. This line right here, this rut, she's been riding
She's
really
got that
well.
one figured out.
Yeah, every time through, she looks good on that ride through.
And Sarah obviously not making that same mistake that happened on the way down. Hopefully we'll be able to find out how that happened. But Cutler really strong on the flats, really strong. I feel like she's got a little bit of a hard time in those tough downhills, but she keeps making up time every single time it gets into that fitness part of this. See if we can get the super high speed slow-mo camera to look at exactly what's on the cards in Sarah's wheels.
They might be Tim Johnson trading cards. They might be vintage rider cards from your days as a pro.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, actually. I have a signed rider card from Sarah Sturm from yesterday at the SRAM tent. They had a pizza party for the juniors and had all of the riders who were riding SRAM come by. Ooh, there's another example. Oh, I'm sorry, that was our start line crash. That is number 933. And Anna Shearer is living that finish line as the start line episode every single time she walks. I hope that's not too uncomfortable, but she's still out there. She's doing great.
Oy, 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 oy.
918, making some money. Katie Giambolini from Portland. She's now at least $1 richer. This race is still not easy though. Look at this. I mean, look at the effort.
Sturm definitely suffering out there today. You can now see it written on her face, but no stranger to suffering for Sarah Sturm. She's been doing a lot of endurance racing, a lot of gravel racing, mountain bike racing as well. She won Belgian waffle ride. Saw her win a crit at Sea Otter on a gravel bike. So a multi-talented athlete.
As well as racing the World Cup in Waterloo. So, I mean, that's really a pretty big range. I mean, to me, that speaks to all the different ways that you can be a cyclist. You can ride a bike, you can race a bike, you can race all kinds of them.
Second at Leadville Trail 100.
Yeah, she's legit on anything with two wheels. So for her to be out there laying it down on the descent, getting back into the lead, now taking more time away from Schaldick. I mean, she is having a race, and she's taking it. One lap to go for her.
All right, there's the bell for Sarah Sturm through the line. Schaldick hanging tough, but this is going to be probably a little over 10 seconds.
Yeah, a little bit of wind out of her sails, I think, here. I mean, on this section, she's flying. Got that Firefly up to full speed, but looks like that gap is really starting to open up to Sturm, but really strong ride. Some beautiful bikes that they make back there in Boston. Somerville, great history of frame building. You know, we're out here in the Pacific Northwest. It's really an arms race for handcrafted artisanal bike frames. And, you know, it's good to see.
They gave me one at the airport when I landed.
Well, you know, they're everywhere. It's like the drive-through artisanal bike frame manufacturers, like the espresso shops in every parking lot of Bikeman's or whatever they have.
Albertsons up here,
Albertsons, right.
Well, Sturm going to pick up some lap traffic here with her pay. No.
Oh, she has literally lost money during this race. That is such a sad turn of events for our race leader, Sarah Sturm.
I hope someone goes back and gets that dollar. I hope it doesn't get pounded into the abyss with riders running through.
Yeah, that's going to come back up in a couple years. And maybe that will show up in the archaeological dig of Steilacoom Park in 2250. Here we go, replay. And the dollar bill just dropping out of the denim.
That's why you got to use the pockets. That's why we wear jorts. That's why you have the pockets.
The humanity. Oh, she's got like 8 pockets to choose from.
I know, and she didn't use a single one of them.
I really feel like that's a mistake that she deserves. You know, it's just tough to see someone just so, you know, just leave that much to chance.
I think that was an attempted cookie or donut hand up there. And she's like, what happened to the cash? I can't pay my bills with a donut.
Is that another dollar bill?
That is another dollar bill.
That's in a helmet strap. So that is a very precarious position to put your dollar bill in. I mean, if that is dangling from her neck.
It was in the chin strap of her helmet.
Wow. I mean, the layers that are just available to us spectators, it's just, you know, the fabric is thick here in single speed.
Jessica Cutler hanging in 3rd place. Carla Williams in 4th. And Meredith Miller has moved up to 5th place.
She's probably got $75 in her pockets. I mean, she's just been picking up money left over from all these front runners. I mean, maybe that is a tactic. If you just roll around in like 40th place, you just end up making a little bit more money than the people in 1st. Oh, that's a lap rider there, sorry. It's like number 921, maybe? No, 927. Amanda McNabb, Thrive rider from Linwood, Washington. Don't see any dangling dollar bills. It's good. There it is. Can we get a close-up shot of that dollar bill right there? Look at that. This is a quality broadcast when we can show you a high-def dollar bill.
Yeah,
good enough to counterfeit, really. If you want to do a screenshot, that is totally fine.
I think I've read the serial number off of that one.
Sturm back into the run-up.
Past the beer garden one more time. Last chance for Sarah Sturm to pick up some dollar bills here. Schaldek going to be right behind her. And look at the gap from second back to third. And see where Cutler may be. Coming up to Schaldek, the snow machine still going strong. I thought it was a bubble machine at first. It's a snow machine. They have sort of a winter Christmas themed village thing going on down there.
Got it. Well, you know, back in Minnesota, snow machine's a snowmobile, so it's snow making machine. That last step's getting deeper and deeper. Top of that run up.
Yeah, there is a big step up happening up at the top.
But tomorrow, this is a fun race to do. It's a fun race to watch. Sarah Stern's looking for that dollar bill. Nope. So I always wondered how they were planted. This is kind of like those programs, you know, it's like carbon offsets. People are out there planting dollar bills.
I did wonder how they got, put upright into the mud. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a random natural occurrence. Here we have a new Specialized commercial. It's going to be playing next year.
It does look like a Specialized commercial, doesn't it? Some dubstep music behind it. Flash the Specialized logo at the end. Bing, bang, boom.
Still not fun, that section. Still not fun. Almost guaranteed. If we were to do a on-the-bike interview right now, it'd be like, nope, still not a fan of that uphill section with the soft mud at the top of the long climb. Definitely not. Still waiting for our friends here on the venue to come by with our refreshments. I mean, hot coffee would work too.
1, 2.
All right, this is just unfair. There are other people out there who need those dollars. Although I wonder if he's planting those dollars, where did he go and get the change? I mean, did he show up at the bank and be like, I would like 76 $1 bills?
Who has that much singles?
I've got a bunch of pennies.
Singles? Yeah.
Got a bunch of pennies here. Got change I've been collecting. I mean, is he subsidized somewhere?
I think it's just the kindness of his heart.
Very generous. Very generous.
All right, Sturm continuing to ride well on the front here. And I think she is putting time into Schaldek. That is Emily Schaldek, second place on the day for the Bitch and Grit 10-Speed Hero and Bitch Sticks team. It only took me one try.
Yeah, okay.
Not that hard.
Oh, that's great. But glad you had such an easy time with it.
Sturm working her way through the descent now. She'll pop out of the trees in a bit. As we can look at Sarah Tyson for the Audi team out of Seattle.
Oh, we have some information exactly about that card in the wheels. It is for the Single Speed Worlds in Durango 2020.
Yep.
So anyone watching, wondering, concerned that there was a party that you weren't invited to, that's not true. Everyone is invited.
You are officially invited to Durango, Colorado in 2020 for the Single Speed World Championships, which is maybe one of the coolest events in bike racing. The winner has to get a tattoo every year, and it is not optional for the winner.
Well, it turns out it was optional for somebody, and it was not well received.
We don't talk about that.
No. But no, hat tip to Tyler Johnson for letting me know that is what the reason is for that. And you know what? I'm going to start looking at flights. I think that would be a fun trip.
I'm going to live stream Single Speed Worlds. I'm going to load the TV crew up and head out to Durango.
Do a bunch of GoPro Hero 3s. And
yep. No, I'm shooting it on film.
An old extension cord between them.
And Sturm really is a great bike handler. Just looks comfortable on the bike.
So
she's got that natural X factor.
Well, you know that if she had an incident on that descent, is because she was going so fast. I mean, she's got a ton of skills to work with. So, you know, when you see the front runner crash, you know that they're going fast. A lot of people forget about that.
You see that burned in line that Sturm is finding here. It kind of disappears for a small section in the pit. Maybe some riders went down there or something, but there is definitely a smoother line through the sand pit. You can see right there. And Schaldek's going to take it as well. Watch this.
Well, this is that idea of momentum. You go as fast as you can for as long as you can, because you don't want to have to start going. You don't want to have to start pedaling. You know, Brad, I got to say that people are choosing right now between college football and us, and I feel like that they're making good decisions by keeping this running in the background, right? We've got a lot to offer. We've got bloody knees, dollar bills, spoke cards.
I'd like to see a spoke card at the Army-Navy game.
Yeah, exactly. We have amazing athletes riding their bikes as fast as they possibly can and even smiling at the same time. So that is not in a helmet strap. Looks like it's in.
I think it's in the jersey.
In the jersey, yeah. Okay. Glad we got that figured out.
It's a very tight neck band
no,
on the jersey. No,
that's that fishnet over jacket.
Right. All right, Sturm about to make her way onto the pavement.
Cutler in third place there. Great podium spot. Sturm, two-time national champion here, backing up that victory.
Oh, she knows she's got it now. Smile on her face. One last look over the shoulder, and Sarah Sturm adds a Stars and Stripes jersey to her closet with the Singlespeed Women's National Championship in jorts, a denim jacket, and enamel pins. It doesn't get much cooler than that.
Great race here. Looks like, are those shells, perhaps?
Those are.
Yeah, no, that is a stoked second place.
How we missed that the entire race, I have no idea. And this will be Cutler in for third.
And I think Sturm was like, you've got something kind of on your neck area. It looks like maybe a dollar bill. Was that mine? Yeah, we've got the 10-speed hero patch. Yeah. No, the paparazzi is out in force.
I just saw a guy rewind his film to take a picture of Sarah Sturm, so that's perfect. He had to move the shutter.
We got the old 16 millimeter out there, ticking away. So our podium is, they're just going to stick together, and that's perfect.
Here's Meredith Miller on the way in. She was 5th place at last check.
But $400 in her pockets. Big finish right behind her.
I think she's wearing a prototype Rafa sleeveless button-up shirt.
5th place for Miller. Let's see who's 6 and 7. Melissa Barker and Rachel Wood, it looks like. Two finishing pretty strong. Yeah, this is no riders under the tree just yet. That might happen a little bit later.
That's right, the press conference tree.
Exactly. You know, this is going to be a great race to bring to Fayetteville, Arkansas. You know, as we get closer to the World Championships coming, I feel like this kind of energy and vibe and culture is going to play well because you've got University of Arkansas down the street. And if there's anything more fun than hanging out with your friends and riding bikes, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe college football, I don't know, but.
Only in a cyclocross race can this guy walk around without drawing any attention. Nobody is even turning their head when they see Santa wearing jorts. It's just another guy out there at a bike race.
I could not be wearing jorts right now. I'd be freezing.
All right, let's go down to Dave Toll on course. Sounds like he's got Sarah Sturm. Dave.
Hey, thanks a lot, Brad. We just had Meredith Miller come by finishing a moment ago. I just saw a picture of you flying over the handlebars. So a lot going on right now. I'm as stoked as anybody, but hey, congratulations, Sarah. The whole Durango crew was going nuts. Talk to me about your emotions.
This is always a really special race just because, like, I mean, I've been in Durango for almost 12 years, and it's fun to have, like, basically my family at this point. My dad wasn't able to make it out, so it was really cool to have everyone here. They're the best fill-in for that, so especially when you go ass over the bars.
Well, we were just talking about your origin story right now. They're also all over the internet. They're wondering about the dollar bills, and I saw that you lost some money on the final run. Were you aware that money was Tim Johnson was losing his mind?
No, that's so bad because this is how we earn our money. So you have to pick it up out of the mud.
Well, I tell you what, dinner's on me.
Oh,
tonight. So, yeah, but again, take me through that battle out there. It's never easy, that's for sure.
No, I knew my like one of my really good friends, Emily. I knew she was going to be right there. We battled it out at Singlespeed Worlds, and I knew that this was a really good course for her as well. It kind of suits the more mountain biker kind of person, and so I knew that she would be right there. I also just knew that you just had to suffer it the whole time, and that's like the only thing I have confidence in is my ability to just suffer really hard for 40 minutes.
Or 40 hours at Belgian Waffle Ride, right? Yeah. So, hey, as we look at that battle, it's funny, 2 Fort Lewis College athletes sitting up there. When we get down to it now, those collegiate days were fun. You got into the sport through your dad, but now it's interesting. You really getting into the sweet spot here, winning Belgian Waffle Ride. Tim and Brad were talking about that. But talk to me about where you're at as an athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I gave gravel a shot last season. I kind of didn't know what I was in for. They're like, here's a bike. It looks like a cross bike, so you should be good at this. And I just kind of went for it. I think I'm just good at like suffering for a while, and my technical skills kind of put me ahead of some of the road racers, and I can kind of dig in and suffer apparently for a long time. So it's actually been super fun to try a different kind of sport.
Well, good. Hey, it has been a lot of fun watching. Hey, one of the women you were racing against has already made her way back into the booth. So, Brad and Tim, I know you've got Meredith Miller with you. The energy is tremendous out here. But, hey, Meredith, good job yourself.
Thank you, Dave, and good job to Sarah. Meredith, can I borrow $1? I need to go buy some lunch.
Because I have 2,
How about
so I
one
can give
for
you
me
one.
and one for Tim?
Terry has my other 2. No.
Oh, I don't get it. Oh, man, I got denied.
Meredith, this was a single speed race through and through to a T. I mean, this is what single speed was about, right? Was it as fun as it looked?
It was. I mean, and, you know, they mentioned the energy out there and the crowds on the hill. That's the only reason I actually got to the top each time, I think, is the crowd. The energy up there just kept pushing me forward and forward. And as many times I just wanted to stop and walk, and I wasn't far from walking, but they kept me going. It's really hard out there, and the crowd is great. And hey, thanks for the hand-ups out there.
Yeah, did you figure out where these came from? We have
footage.
Yeah.
It's grainy, but
we have
like,
video evidence of the dollar bill culprit that was putting it out there.
Oh, really?
It was the guy on the
symbol
exercised symbol bike that was
okay.
dropping some dollars for you there every lap. So there you go.
Our crack production team put together this montage.
How do you decide to go for both dollar bills?
They're right there. They put them
you
so
might
close
as well.
together. I have 2 more somewhere. I think Terry owes me a couple dollars.
All right, we'll send him an invoice afterwards, and they'll
I'll
they'll
send
pay you
that right
that
over,
way.
no problem.
Meredith, did the course change much out there? It kind of stopped raining for a while there. Is it any tackier than it was this morning?
There's only a couple places where it gets a little sticky. Actually, at the bottom of one of the descents, if you don't come down with enough speed, if you're not as brave as you used to be and you're on the brakes a little more, kind of slows you down at the bottom. But the course, it didn't really change much from when I pre-rode around noon today. Probably a little thicker than when you raced.
So was
this
there
morning.
any issues with shifting? Was it getting into the derailleur, the cassette maybe?
Yeah, I know. I was in fear of ripping my derailleur off, right?
I mean, the mud is really getting thick out there.
There might have been a couple times I was wishing I had a different gear than the one that I had. But, yeah, the orchard up there gets a little hard, you know, that kind of false flat, a little bit of elevation where you're actually pedaling on any elevation today. That's
we named that the part of the race that everyone hates.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Catchy name, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everything else, pedaling is fine, but the orchard, it got a little hard.
Meredith, serious equipment question. Tire pressure, tire tread, what did you run out there today?
Well, I was riding PDXs. I have no idea what my pressure was. I just went by feel.
True single speed style.
I'm retired, right?
Hey, look for the replay here of the crash on the right-hand side of the screen. Get a little squirrely and taking down a couple more.
I did not even know that happened.
Yeah, we've had some blood. So Sarah and Emily Schaldek right there. But, yeah, really action-packed race. These two riders going back and forth a couple times. Sarah having a big crash, going for a bike change, having the best pit bike in the entire race. jumping right back on another perfectly dialed single speed.
You know Sarah pretty well. It's a rider you've raced against a lot.
Yes, Sarah's great. I mean, she's one of those riders, she's kind of like the Katarina Nash, you know? She's like, she just kicks your butt. There we go.
And
there we go.
There's the source of your dollars.
They made it really easy putting them right. I'm surprised you didn't take all of those right there. See, I put mine in my mouth, and then Terry pulled them right out.
Yep. Well, we saw Sarah lose one. She put it down the vest, and then it fell out the
right
bottom
out the
like
bottom.
a half lap later. But I don't think she's super worried about the single she left behind on course because she just won the single speed women's national championship.